Hi everyone in English 2323, it's Dr. E and I'm here with your weekly instructional video, which I have tried to film several times but keep getting interrupted by the four-legged kid variety. It's a zoo here, so if you hear or see animals in the background, we're gonna have to go with it because I can't film this another time. All right, so we're heading into week 6, and I hope at this point you're feeling very comfortable and confident with the way everything is set up in D2L. You know where to go to find answers to your questions, and if you don't find those answers, that you are comfortable enough to post in the Q&A discussion board or to reach out to me directly to get some help, because that's what I'm here for, right? Let's go ahead and jump into our weekly module to see what we have going on this week. So there's a note here that may at first seem confusing, I hope not. Those of you who are working with the print version of our text, the previous edition to the ebook some of you may be using now, these readings are not included in that text, which was really obnoxious to me for as long as we had the new edition, because when it was a new edition, because I thought this story was really helpful and then leading into what we're going to read next by Robert Louis Stevenson. And students tend to really like this short story, and especially because we have the character of Sherlock Holmes, which, you know, has lasted throughout the ages in various ways. So if you are with the print version, know that those readings are going to be available in the book information and additional readings module right here. Those of you who are working with the new edition with the ebook, it is contained, like there's the biography and there's the short story, The Speckled Band. All right, so you're watching the weekly instructional video, thanks. You do have your participation quiz and your discussion Thursday. So again, a pretty straightforward week, I at least hope. And remember, if there are no plus signs next to the points here, it means that is a required grade, not a bonus credit grade. So make sure you're responding to at least 2 colleagues by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. and completing that participation quiz, which requires that you watch this and do, you know, all the reading and all that information. All right, so if we scroll down, you're watching what will appear here. I do have the updated schedule for the rest of the semester. Now, let me tell you, let me look right at you when I say this. Things can change, okay? I hopefully do not see that the major due dates for our grades will change, but stuff happens, right? And there may be adjustments to what we're seeing on the schedule now. I hope that's not the case, but again, stuff happens. So just be prepared for that eventuality, but know that the rest of the semester at this point on this day has been mapped out. But also, please let me know if you have any questions or you see any confusing things or errors, because again, you be my peer reviewers, right? All right, so we have our week 6 discussion, which is due on Thursday, and it is based on the adventures of the Speckled Band and the biography. So in one paragraph, I want you to connect what you learned about Doyle's life, right, from the biography that we read, and connect to the short story. You know, are there things that you can make connections about? Are there similarities? In the second paragraph, I want your thoughts about the short story. And I really want you to push the why or why not, right? This is not a simple kind of, oh, I really liked it, it was great kind of response, right? That paragraph should be well thought out. It should really dig into you as a reader and your reaction as a reader, right? I want us to, moving forward, really consider ourselves literary critics, right? So it's about you kind of critically thinking about what it is you're reading and how you're reading, right? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Why not? Do you prefer stories with more dialogue or less dialogue? Do you prefer stories that are really in-depth when it comes to imagery, that kind of thing? All right, so I want to make a few notes here at the end as well, and note that the word for this week's quiz is bird, like bird, and I have a cat in here eating. Oh gosh, okay. And also I have updated many of the grades, not all of them. For the longer writing, like your journal, it's going to take me a little bit longer to get that feedback to you. But if you have questions about the grades that you are seeing, before you email me about them, please double check when was the due date, right? What were the requirements? So double check all of that to make sure that you follow the requirements before you reach out to me. And then when you email, just let me know those things like, yes, I submitted it on this day, I answered the prompt to my best ability, or whatever the case may be. If you're a little bit confused about the grade that you received, right, it helps give me context when I read your email so that I get a little bit of background before diving into a response or researching that grade, right? So that's the procedure for the grades. Also, some of you have done this already, and that's great. Please remember that you can change or update your name in D2L to your preference. So that just requires going up here, right, and going to profile to update that information. It's one of those things where it's just, we should be thinking of you and addressing you as the name that you prefer, as the name that feels like you, right? So some of you may have included that in your discussion post where you introduced yourselves, but you're not necessarily doing that in the subject line. And something that helps with that is just changing your name in D2L, so that's the name we see. Okay, so just a little reminder out there that you are able to do that. Right. All right. That's really it for this week. Like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, please, see if the answers are contained within D2L, but reach out to me or go to that Q&A discussion board area. All right. Have a great week.